them, our numbers are a threat. Our growth is a problem. Our fertility is a danger. Now, today we're talking about a story coming out of Namibia that should have every African and every Black person paying attention. Now, Namibia's president, Her Excellency Nandi-Ndaitwah, has just made history, and she has firmly rejected a proposal from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to conduct trials of a IUD that is actually designed to prevent pregnancy for up to 8 years. And now, family, let me tell you, this is not just a story about reproductive health. This is a story about sovereignty and protecting Black bodies from exploitation. Now, the Gates Foundation came to Namibia with a shiny proposal, which is let us test this new device on your women, which is a device that keeps women from getting pregnant for nearly a decade. Now, think about that. Why Namibia? And why Africa? Why us, right? Now, we all know the history. Whenever Western powers want to test something, be it drugs, vaccines, or devices, they don't go to Europe. They don't go to America. No, they come to Africa because to them, our bodies are disposable and our pain is a lab experiment and our wombs are just battlegrounds. I say this because in apartheid South Africa, Black women were forced onto contraception without consent. And in Namibia itself, under German colonial rule, the Herero and the Nama women were sterilized and experimented on and treated like animals. So this is not conspiracy. This is fact. Our mothers and grandmothers carry the scars. So when President Nandi says no, she's not just rejecting a child, but she's rejecting centuries of abuse. She's saying our women are not guinea pigs. Our wombs are not yours to control, and our future is not for sale. And as a South African, this hit me quite deep because we too know the pain of being used or being studied and violated under the mask of science and development. I mean, I remember stories of young girls in rural areas injected with contraceptives without being asked. Women who didn't even understand what was being put in their bodies. And today, many live with those side effects, the trauma, the loss of choice. So when I see Namibia's president, an African woman, stand tall and say no to the Gates Foundation, I feel pride and I feel vindication and I feel like finally someone is saying what so many of us have been screaming for years, which is enough is enough. And family, let's be real, right? The Gates Foundation has money, they have influence, they control narratives about health across the global south. But I believe we must ask ourselves, why are these solutions always about limiting African births? Why is there so much investment in stopping us from having children, but so little in making sure that the children we do have live healthy, are educated, and have dignified lives? Where are the billions for schools, for hospitals, for clean water, for jobs, right? Why is the only constant agenda fewer African babies? Because to them, our numbers are a threat. Our growth is a problem. Our fertility is a danger. And I also want us to talk about spirituality. In African culture, children are not just statistics, they are blessings, they are ancestors returned. So when you target our ability to reproduce, you're targeting our spiritual survival, you're breaking the cycle of life that connects us to our forefathers, our foremothers. So this is why so many of us see these Western projects as not just scientific, but deeply sinister, because they strike at the very heart of who we are as Africans. Now, let me say this plainly. I salute President Nandi. She could have been tempted. The Bill Gates Foundation comes with money, with prestige, with promises. But she chose sovereignty. She chose dignity. She chose to protect her people. And this is leadership, right? This is what it means to remember history. And this is what every African head state should be doing. I mean, imagine if more leaders had her courage. Imagine if during the pandemic, right, African leaders had asked harder questions instead of lining up for Western donations, right? Imagine if we stopped letting our people be the testing ground for drugs and devices the West won't use on their own people. This is not about rejecting science. This is about demanding respect and demanding ethics and demanding that our bodies are treated as sacred and not disposable. And to my sisters, let me be clear. This fight is also about us. For too long, the world has tried to control Black women's bodies, first through sexual assault, then through sterilization, then through population control, now through contraceptive innovation. But where is the innovation to protect us from gender-based violence? Where is the innovation to support mothers, to reduce maternal mortality, and to give us safer births? They don't invest in that because it doesn't serve their agenda. Now, this is more than Namibia's fight. I believe it is all of ours, because if they can't test on Namibia, they'll knock on the door of Zambia, they will knock on the door of Malawi, Lesotho, and even South Africa. So we must support leaders who choose sovereignty. We must demand that our bodies, our children, our future are not bargaining chips for foreign foundations. Now, Namibia has drawn a line in the sand, and as an African woman, as a South African, I say I stand with her, I stand with the African sovereignty, and I stand with the right for every Black woman to decide what happens to her own body without the shadow of colonialism disguised as charity. Now, I'm Naledi Mfoloe, and this is the ADNC, where our truth is global, powerful, and unapologetically Black. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I really like to hear your thoughts on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Till we meet again, it is bye-bye for now.